Have you seen? Have you heard? Have you smelt? Have you felt? Can you feel? Have you seen? Have you heard? Have you smelt? Have you felt? Can you feel?
Have you seen the twinkling lights and presents wrapped under the tree?
Have you heard the singing of carols, the excited laughter of the children?
Can you smell the cakes baking and the wine mulling?
Have you felt the cold on your skin, your cheeks tingling as they warm by the fire?
Can you feel that Christmassy feeling, the excitement, the joy, and the hope mingled in?
Have you seen?
Have you heard?
Have you smelt?
Have you felt?
Can you feel?
What did God see in the darkness?
What could be heard at the beginning of time?
What could be smelt before the rain and the grass?
What could be felt before the sun and the wind?
How did God feel as the world was set into being?
Light exploding, colour forming, life starting, human forming,
Feeling.
Touching.
Hearing.
Smelling.
seeing.
How did God feel as the world was set into being?
Have you seen? Have you heard? Have you smelt? Have you felt? Can you feel? Have you seen? Have you heard? Have you smelt? Have you felt? Can you feel?
She felt it.
Before she saw it,
Deep in her bones, there was a feeling that she'd never felt.
she felt the wind pick up cold against her skin.
She heard a low hum, a buzz that filled the air.
The air changed. It smelled fresh, clean.
Then she saw a light walking towards her with purpose.
She felt as though she was under a microscope, that the whole world was zooming in on her, that she was being watched by thousands.
The light was getting closer. She could make out a figure in the midst of the brightness.
She could feel her heart beating faster.
The low hum was getting louder and louder. It's filling the air with such force.
Mary! Can you feel it? Mary, can you feel God's presence? Can you feel his love for you? Are you listening to me, Mary? Have you heard me?
She had heard.
She was trying not to stare.
She felt her heart explode from her chest.
She felt love. She felt fear. She felt joy.
Mary, can you feel it? You are going to have a son. God's son.
Fear, disbelief.
She felt like her legs were about to give way.
Her eyesight was blurry.
She smelled the dust being kicked up as the angel disappeared.
She heard nothing but silence. Then her voice uttered the word, Okay.
She felt different, changed, loved, part of something.
Have you seen? Have you heard? Have you smelled? Have you felt? Can you feel? Can you feel?
He saw it.
Before he felt it,
The dream, the vision, whatever had just happened.
She jolted awake. He jolted awake feeling dizzy and increasingly sick.
The air was still, silent, the room empty.
But the space felt heavy.
It was pitch black around him.
With the smell of today's freshly baked bread and yesterday's wood shavings.
he felt different, not angry like he had done the day before.
When he had heard Mary's news.
Joseph! Psst. Can you feel it? Joseph! Can you feel God's peace? Joseph! If you're scared, the baby is God's. The baby is love. Can you hear me? Can you see me? He will love and save the world. Have you heard me? Marry Mary and call the boy Jesus.
He could feel it. Peace like heat radiated through his body.
The air felt clean. He could breathe again.
He could see Mary in his mind's eye, standing in front of him as she had done the day before. Beautiful.
Innocent, excited, scared, heartbroken.
But this time he felt overwhelming compassion for her.
He heard nothing but silence. And then into the darkness, his voice uttered the word, okay.
He felt different, changed, loved, part of something.
Have you seen? Have you seen? And can you hear? Boom! Have you heard? And have you smelt? Have you smelt? Have you felt? Have you felt? And can you feel? Can you feel?
Oh, get out of my way! Move!
Come on, it's fine.
Get out of my way! Get out of my
Where you
way!
go this way.
This is me!
Oh, come on. Move.
Me, excuse me.
Look, move. Seriously.
Which way you go? I'm going this way.
They smelt it.
Before they heard it.
So much to see, but nowhere to sleep.
You could almost smell their fear.
The hectic, bustling city made them feel hot and sticky.
They were frustrated. They had to be here, so near to the birth.
As soon as they had heard that everyone was being told to go back to their hometowns, they knew it was going to be awful.
The smell of thousands of people squashed into streets and side alleys, looking for a place to stay. It was disgusting.
Mary felt anxious. Panic starting to fill her body. She knew it had started. She knew the baby was on the way.
They kept being told there was no room anywhere. The more they walked and knocked.
The longer they searched and scoured.
The more exhausted and dismayed they felt. They knocked on door after door.
To be met with no after no, sorry after sorry.
No, 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 no. Can't you see we're full? Sorry. But there is a small place out the back. It's very smelly. It'll be really squashed.
They could smell the animals from where they stood.
Could hear the grunting, the moos and the clucks.
Hey, it wasn't going to be glamorous.
Mary, Joseph, did you hear me? This is no place to have a baby. Are you sure you want it?
But Mary couldn't take one more step. The baby was on the way, and they knew they had to stop. The thought that there was anywhere at all to stop was enough to fill her with relief.
As soon as they had heard the innkeeper suggest out the back, they both heard themselves agree with a resounding okay.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Saviour's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, no night, oh, holy night, oh, night divine.
Have you seen? Have you heard? Have you smelt? Have you felt? Can you feel?
Oh, it's so much down here. Oh, it's freezing.
Down.
It's
Clear now as well, isn't it? It's very clear. That's probably why it's so cold. Oh, okay.
Get the fire going.
They heard it.
Before they saw it.
Sitting on the ground in the middle of the night, with the cold creeping onto their skin and into their bones.
Lonely and forgotten, miles away from anybody or anything.
The soft waft of the burning fire crept into their clothes.
It started quietly, singing, a choir, 1,000 voices.
The ground began to shake.
Light filled the sky and surrounding countryside.
Shepherds! Can you feel it? Shepherds! History has been made! Whoa! The world will never be the same again! Shepherds! Have you heard me? Tonight, in Bethlehem, a baby has been born that will change the world forever. Go! Go! See! Hear! Smell! Touch!
And then there was nothing but silence. The angel was gone as quickly as he had appeared, and they heard nothing except their voices utter the word, okay.
They could see the lights of Bethlehem in the distance, so started to follow them.
With a feeling of excitement
Let's
invading
Yeah,
their body.
got that one. Well, I'll do this. I'll help you so you get that one. Right, okay.
Come on.
Do we spin it first or
This is
spin it first?
right.
Spin it
This
first.
is wrong.
That's all good.
Then bring it down. Yeah.
Yeah, this way.
A bit further,
Okay,
further.
stop.
That's too. Is that too close?
Right, is that
Is that okay?
Okay.
Further away. Get that one further away. Come on.
Bit further
Okay.
forward.
Brilliant.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Shh. They left the chatter and the noise, and they found silence.
They felt their hearts explode.
They found him.
They found joy.
Have you seen? Have you heard? Have you smelled? Have you felt? Can you feel? Can you feel? Have you seen? Have you heard? Have you smelled? Have you felt? Can you feel? Can you
Led by the light of faith serenely beaming with glowing hearts, by his cradle we stand. Led by a light of a star sweetly gleaming, there come the wise men from Orient land. The King of Kings lay thus in lowly manger in all our trials, born to be our friend. He knows our needs. He guarded us from danger. Behold your King before the lowly babe. Before your King, before the lowly babe.
They saw it.
Before they felt it.
The star.
They had heard the stories before.
A star would be seen in the sky when the new king was born. Was this it? Was this the star? Others had seen it.
Others were talking about it.
Hope and anticipation flooded through their bodies.
As they waited in the desert with the heat pricking their skin.
And the sound of wind flapping through their tents.
And the smell of camels on the dry ground, waiting for the night sky
to light up with thousands of tiny stars, and one much bigger and brighter than all the others put together, so they could start their journey once more.
As they waited, they discussed the events of the day.
The sights they had seen,
The confusion they'd felt.
They had heard him.
before they saw him.
A loud, booming voice that shook the walls and rattled the windows.
What's this I see? 3 wise men? What's this I hear? You in search of the new king? Well, isn't that touching? It just fills me with joy.
The palace felt cold.
The air smelled stale.
They wanted to run away and pretend they'd never arrived. They had never felt so uneasy or unwelcome. They turned to leave.
Stop! Did you hear me? Wait! If you find this king, tell me, so that I can go and touch his feet, smell his head, hear his cry, and worship him.
They turned to see a glaring Herod towering above them.
They ran as fast as they could out of the palace. They heard themselves mutter a quick, "Okay."
Their eyelids grew heavy. Sleep swept over them.
Wise ones, can you hear me? Wise ones, can you see me? Don't go back to Herod. When you find the new king, don't go back. Wise ones, do you hear me? He feels nothing but hatred and loathing. Wise ones, stay away. Have you heard me?
So they followed the star.
Over the hot, dry sand dunes and into Bethlehem.
And finally, in among the smell of the animals.
They found him.
They found peace.
Have you seen? Have you heard? Have you smelled? Have you felt? Can you feel? Can you feel? Have you seen? Have you heard? Have you smelled? Have you felt? Can you feel? Can you feel?
Have you found his presence in the loneliness and the disappointments?
Have you found his joy in the surprises and spontaneity?
Have you felt his peace amidst the preparations and the stresses?
Have you heard his voice in the singing of carols and the excited laughter of the children?
Have you found his hope in sight of the twinkling lights?
Have you found his love in that Christmassy feeling? The excitement, the joy, and the hope mingled in.
Have you found him?
Have you seen? Have you heard? Have you smelt? Have you felt? Can you feel?